Woman has been trapped on a deserted island for 3 days and nights, but she threw the fish she had managed to catch back into the sea. Then she grabbed her homemade spear and looked straight out to sea. It didn't take long for a small shark to swim up to her. Lisa was very happy. This shark was enough to keep her fed for days. At night she hung the shark in a tree. Then she fell asleep, exhausted. But when she woke up the next day, Lisa found that the shark was gone. Judging from the break in the rope, there were other creatures on this island. For safety's sake, she began to explore the island. Then Lisa heard a strange sound in a dead tree. She went up to check the situation with suspicion. Fortunately, it was not a monster. Then she began to explore the island. She was lucky enough to find another half box of matches. With a source of fire there was hope. She started to collect fish along the beach. Suddenly she saw the lost shark. Judging by the scratch marks on the shark, it must have been the act of some large animal. At that moment she remembered her dead companion, so she rushed to bury the body of her companion. By nightfall, Lisa set up a campfire and roasted a fish. While eating the fish she was alert to her surroundings, but in the end she fell asleep without realizing it. The next day Lisa woke up safely. Then she continued to explore the island. Suddenly she saw her companion's body being dug up. Now she finally got scared. Lisa rushed to find a branch to make a long hair for protection. Then she started to look around, but there was still no sign of any creature. At night she lit the campfire again. Suddenly she heard the sound of a plane roaring in the sky. She hurriedly took out her flare gun. Panicked, it took her 3 minutes to fire, but the plane had already flown a long way away. Just when she was desperate, suddenly she saw a huge figure on the sea. Lisa realized that this was no ordinary species, so she rushed into the woods and hid. The next day she changed into her swimsuit. Then she pulled her suitcase into the ocean. She tried to rely on the suitcase to float and get her off the island, but after trying for a long time she found it impractical. Finally she gave up the idea. As night fell, Lisa suddenly thought of the dead tree. After careful observation, she rushed in and hid inside. Maybe this way the monster wouldn't find her. The island was quieter than ever that night. Just as she was about to go to sleep, suddenly there was a horrible sound. She hurriedly covered her mouth and nose, not daring to make any noise, but the monster seemed to have found her. It kept banging on the dead tree. By the next day the monster was gone. Lisa was still alive. It seems that the monster only appears at night. The dead tree was no longer the best place to hide. Lisa had to find a new place to live. To find out what the monster was, she hangs the bodies of her companions in the trees as bait. She hides herself and waits for the monster to appear.